Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Rinne-Hatake here, back with another video. And today we got what if Deku was Vegeta's reincarnation. And we've hit 20 subs, and I've just dropped the 15 sub special, so you know I gotta come back with a 20 sub special for you guys. And thank you for the support. And this would just be a one-shot story, so yeah. But I got a real quick question to ask you before we start. Do you guys want me to do a what if Goku had unlimited potential, the movie, or continue with part 4 and then do the movie? Just comment down hashtag movie or hashtag part 4 if you want me to do the movie or the part 4 instead. But without further ado, let's begin. In the world of My Hero, there was a boy. You may know as Izuku Midoriya. This boy is very different from the one you know, because he became the reincarnation of the Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta. As Midoriya was growing up, people started looking down on him, but Midoriya, his partially Saiyan side, or nature, would beat down on anyone who looked down on him. Anyone who would get in his way. And that's because he was getting influenced by Vegeta. His usual demeanor is influenced or changed by Vegeta because of his influence. And he became more prideful as a part Saiyan, because he's not a full Saiyan, he's just a reincarnation. But still, soon Deku was acting as if he was a prince of something, and people would like that. Some people would actually like that, since they have someone to lead them, but others would just get ticked off because of his attitude. And usually, I don't know what I should do with Bakugo here, but I reckon I'm just gonna make Bakugo and Midoriya still enemies, just rivals. They are friends, they're just rivals, very competitive. But there, I'm gonna add one character in this class. I'm just gonna add one character to make things a little more spicy. So I'm gonna add this one character that Vegeta has that Deku is actually rivals with, except with Bakugo. It's not just with Bakugo, it's with this other guy too. And his name would be Kakarot. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Kakarot. He isn't gonna be like Goku and have that OP powers and stuff as a Saiyan. He is gonna be strong, but not as strong as Goku. He's not gonna be no reincarnation or anything. His name is just Kakarot, and he has a super cool or super incredible enhancement quirk of some type. And well, he's always seemed to best Deku in some way and somehow, but Deku always beats Bakugo, and that's the thing. But never managed to beat this Kakarot fellow. And he wants to know why he can't defeat him. So he starts training harder, and Vegeta's influence began to spread, and Deku started acting more of a rowdy kind of kid, always getting into fights, and his parents would have to scold him many times, but he never truly listened. But soon, when they're nearing the end of elementary, this is just elementary school, so they're not gonna actually get into a big fight, and Deku wouldn't have blue off the bat, because if he did, he would stomp this Kakarot, but he doesn't, so he's not gonna stomp anybody right now. His power level would be the same as Vegeta's when he was a kid, so yeah, he'd still be pretty strong, but not too strong. So we're nearing the end of elementary, as I've stated, but there's one difference, one big difference actually, and that is, well, since it's the last day of elementary, Vegeta asked Kakarot to go and fight him, like have a little fight after school, because he wants to settle things. And Deku went up to Kakarot saying, "Oi, Kakarot, I want to challenge you to a fight. Not now, but after school. Meet me under a bridge, and we'll settle things there. Don't bring any of your goonies. If you're too scared to fight me, you wouldn't show up. And if you're just a coward, you just bring some of your friends. But if you're actually tough and strong, fight me one-on-one." And Kakarot looks at him saying, sure, I'll just bring some of my friends, but they're just gonna spectate. Is that alright with you? And not Vegeta, but Deku looks at him with his smile that the smile that Vegeta is actually giving in the thumbnail. That's basically what Deku's doing. And he points his thumb to himself, saying, "I'll bring some of my friends too, and we'll settle things with a hand-to-hand, and we'll settle things hand-to-hand." And it was the end of the day, and they all went under the bridge. And Deku was waiting under the bridge with his friends, watching. And he got into his fighting stance, which was very similar to Vegeta's, and Kakarot into Goku's fighting stance. And in a quick burst, they were gone. It seemed like they vanished. Kakarot was using his enhancement quirk, and I apologize for all this stuttering right now, but still, Kakarot vanishes, and so did Deku, and they started clashing. You could see like mini sound waves, or like impact waves from their punches and kicks. It's basically how they did it in Dragon Ball, but it isn't too big, just tiny little attacks. And every punch they made sent like a gust of wind back to the spectators, and they kept throwing punches and kicks. And right now, Kakarot seemed to be having the advantage here, and that just made Deku even more angry, giving him a rage boost that actually started beating down on Kakarot, kneeing him in the gut, making Kakarot spit out some saliva, and getting slammed into a wall. And then Vegeta dashes towards him, trying to give him a punch. Kakarot dodges, and Deku punches the wall, and it breaks. Not like breaking the wall, but there's a mini crater in there. And Kakarot, taking the advantage, gut punches him right in the liver, or liver punches him, making Deku go on one knee, and then giving him a straight uppercut that would knock him back, and he would land on his back, and Vegeta would get up and start breathing heavily. I wasn't expecting him to be this strong. I knew he was, but not this strong to be able to keep up with me. As he gets into his fighting stance, and so did Kakarot. And Kakarot said, "Well, I'm ending this. This is the technique that my master showed me." As he jumps up into the air, and as he stays in the ground, and pulls both of his hands back. And soon you could see like a blue light emanating from the sewer, not the sewer, but under the bridge. And Kakarot began saying, "Kamehameha," the Kamehameha wave. And then Kakarot pulls his two hands to the side, making somewhat of a similar thing, but the Gallic gun. It's basically the Gallic gun, and he starts charging, and a purple key surrounds him, and he starts doing the Gallic gun. And once they're fully charged, Kakarot releases a Kamehameha wave saying, "Ah!" And Deku yells, "Gallic gun!" as both beams collide. And there was a massive spectacle of light coming from the bridge, and it attracted some low-tier pro heroes as they see the scene, and they get blown away from this attack. These preschoolers are so strong. and some of them were so surprised. The Gallic Gun began overpowering the Kamehameha Wave, but Kakarot added that, well, enhanced himself, since this is an enhancement, and he also has a timesing quirk that enhances the enhancement quirk even further. It's basically like a Kaioken quirk, but not really Kaioken. And he yells, "Times 4!" And you know what I'm doing with this, right? You know what I'm doing with this. And Vegeta, in Deku's mind, widens his eyes as he remembers the time that Kakarot yelled times 4 when he was doing the Kamehameha Wave. He remembers those times as he powers up in Deku's mind, transforming into a blue evolution. And some of the power that he's emitting started showing to Deku, not turning into blue, but started powering up to increasing his wave to the same level as, well, Kakarot's, and their waves, the attacks or the ki blasts they're releasing at each other, explodes in a violent explosion, blasting them both back into a wall. And this time, instead of Kakarot beating, well, Vegeta, not Vegeta, yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say, but Deku, it's a tie this time. This time it's a tie, as both of them were knocked out, and both of their all of their friends were so shocked to see such power displayed, and the pro heroes that were watching were amazed. Some low tier, and there were 2 high tier heroes. In that, the high tier hero's name was All Might, and All Might, and I'm just gonna say All Might and Mirko. Yeah, I'm just saying All Might and Mirko since they were the closest. And they saw this, and they were surprised. And All Might kind of took favor in Kakarot instead of Vegeta. Not Vegeta, but Deku. Apologies, guys. Apologies for the stuttering, and apologies for mixing Deku's name up with Vegeta's. But from now on, if I say Vegeta, you know I'm talking about Deku, okay? But we move on, and Mirko took favor in Deku, and she liked his fighting style since she watched the fight a little bit, and she was impressed, and impressed she was. So she began to, well, basically, she started to take Deku home and started talking to his parents about what happened. And they were pretty shocked, and they were gonna ground him, but Mirko asked them not to and let her take care of, well, Deku for the meantime, so they can control his anger and stuff. And Kakarot is getting training from All Might. And these 2 heroes are top 10 heroes, so they're very, very good at their field. And the next day, once they finally started middle school, they began training. Not the next day, they did not begin middle school straight away after elementary. They just started their break, basically, and they started training immensely. And Deku was training with Mirko, and the way Deku is learning at this pace is surprising Mirko every single time. Every single punch that he lands on Mirko is 10 times stronger than the last. And Deku starts getting stronger, but Mirko ends up always beating Deku, but the beatdowns that he gets helps him improve, and Deku gets so many Zenkais from this because he's part Saiyan. And he also has a Saiyan tail, if I forgot to mention that. He has a Saiyan tail, and he's never looked up at the moon, truly, but he knows its abilities since he's partly Vegeta. And during one training session, Mirko yells out, "Luna Ring!" And as she uses a massive kick to try and stop Deku, and Deku basically yells out, "Big Bang Attack!" And this big ki blast basically was sent to Mirko, and she managed to kick it away and kick it straight back at Deku with the lunar ring, and that blasted him to a wall, and he was knocked out cold. And she was pretty surprised she even had to use the lunar ring. That was like her most powerful kicking attack, basically, her most powerful attack. And she took him to the nurse, and he was fine, but he wasn't waking up for some reason. The reason why Deku wasn't waking up because he was in the mindscape talking to Vegeta, and Vegeta told him that he wasn't strong enough and he needs to be stronger. Awaken the power of the Super Saiyan and be more prideful. You are a Saiyan, a prince. And those words actually encouraged Deku and made him even stronger in will. Made his will even stronger, basically. So he basically started training, and he basically got himself the Saiyan armor, the blue Saiyan armor, and he started training with Mirko once again. And I mustn't forget about Bakugo, since he started training too, but with no pro hero. He just started training at Degama Beach, cleaning that up. But All Might was cleaning at Degama Beach with Kakarot, so Bakugo got training with All Might too. And, well, Vegeta got stronger. Stronger by the day. And Vegeta and Deku started doing the mind training. So Deku did the mind training and started sparring with Vegeta, as Vegeta always flexes blue evolution and starts fighting him in that, and starts training him to make him get more adapt to higher strengths and levels. And to be honest with you, Vegeta is seeing a lot of progress with Deku. Deku's strength is growing, and it's only been a while, and they started middle school already, but still, they still do some training from time to time. And Deku, since he's still part human, is struggling to awaken the power of Super Saiyan, but with all the training he's been doing, he's at least Namek Saga Vegeta at this point. He's Namek Saga Vegeta. He could probably destroy Earth if he truly wanted to, but he didn't. And All For One has been keeping tabs from, like, just keeping tabs with everyone, and he's been seeing potential in Vegeta, or not, with Deku, and this kid named Kakarot, and he sees that they're way beyond any human. So he started working on the higher end Nomus even more so, because he saw their strength, and they could probably take one out, one of the Nomus out pretty easily. So he started developing the Nomus to be even stronger. And the energy they sensed, the energy they could feel that they were emanating was immense, and they were gonna try add that to their Nomu, and it wasn't very easy, but they managed to succeed. Actually, instead of actually ki, they started using, well, the nature energy around them, and that boosts their power. So they basically have some sort of a sage mode, but they don't know what it's called, so they're just gonna call it a berserk mode for now. So the high-end Nomus are much stronger, so is the low-end and the mid-tier. So, yeah, I've said it before, but this time the high-end Nomus with that berserk mode active is at least at the level of the elite high-end Nomus. And the low tier would make it to high, and the low would make it to mid, so you get the point right there. You get the point. So they're very, very strong, and I don't think anyone could take them on, really, but still, they could probably try, and it is possible. So they did start training, and I apologize, I just had to yawn. But they continued their training and their studies, and Vegeta is pretty smart. Well, not really with the brains as much, but only with the battle. He's a pretty good battle strategist, but when it comes to, like, maths and science and all that, he isn't too good. So he started practicing his studies, and he's just a C plus student. He's not like any B to B plus. He's not even an A. So he's just a C plus, and he barely passed his class. But still, he managed to make it, and he's applying for UA. So is Kakarot and Bakugo. Those three are applying, and Bakugo, well, he isn't much of a douchebag as he was in canon, but still is, but not to the extent where everyone doesn't try to apply for a hero school, because everyone actually decided to apply, and Vegeta did say that he was the only one who's gonna make it, but they can try if they want to, and that lifted their spirits. And since Vegeta acts like a leader, they actually follow him instead of Bakugo. So most of the people in not in UA, but in this middle school actually decided to go to the hero course, and people actually enjoyed Deku's company, and the teacher did too. But that's the end of the middle school. And they started their 10 months of training, and Deku took this seriously, becoming even stronger, and starts training even harder, and actually manages to make it to the same level as Goku, Namek Saga Goku. Since Vegeta died, he wasn't the same strong as Goku, so he managed to make it to the power level of 3 million. That is insane, but 3 million. He's a half-breed, so he can make up for it. So he managed to make it to that level in 1 month. He started training, and he gets 3 million from for every month, basically. So he trained for 10 months. The first month, he got 3 million power level at max. So if you really think about it, he made it to 30 million. 30 million, bro. 30 million. He made it to 30 million, and that's his max power level at 30 million. And he's actually entered the false Super Saiyan, and he's actually learning to use that. If you actually remember, and I don't think it was canon, but some Goku was fighting an opponent that was way too strong for him, and he tapped into the false Super Saiyan, which isn't the real Super Saiyan. It's just, I'm pretty sure it's like half the power of Super Saiyan, basically. Isn't as strong as Super Saiyan, but still, it was good enough. So he actually managed to get a bit of a grasp on this false Super Saiyan, and when I mean he actually managed to get a grasp on it, he actually did, and it made him exponentially stronger. Since Super Saiyan's a 50 times multiplier, I think it was a 50 times multiplier, I'm just gonna say that the false Super Saiyan is a 25 times multiplier, because I'm not really certain of this false Super Saiyan's actual multiplier and stuff, so correct me if I'm wrong and leave it in the comments below, but that's what I'm sure of, so I'm just gonna make it that way. So 30 million times 25 is a lot, and I don't really want to calculate it right now, but you guys can calculate it in the comments, and I'll read it and make sure to keep that updated. But still, that's his power level, and since Kakarot doesn't really have any transformations, he's not going to be able to keep up. But due to the fact that he got One for All, and that's another enhancement quirk, that really boosts his power level too. And the technique that I was talking about, he actually has Kaioken. I'm just gonna get rid of the whole conspiracy quirk thingy. I'm just gonna get rid of the quirk that he has. Forget like the times when I said he has a Kaioken kind of quirk. Forget that. He actually does have the Kaioken. I'm just gonna say that because that's the only reason he can actually keep up with Deku at this rate. Because no one could possibly keep up with a half-breed Saiyan at this rate. So I'm just gonna say he has this Kaioken technique, and that would help him keep up immensely. But still, we move from that. And their power levels at base, I'm gonna say Deku's power level at base is at least 500k. I'm just gonna boost it up to 650,000. 650,000 at base. And Kakarot not too far behind at 550,000. Then why am I saying that? Because he trained with weights and asked a smart lady, actually a smart girl that he knows, that could invent things to make him a gravity chamber. So yeah, that's why he's that strong. And that girl would be David Shield's daughter, Melissa Shield. And well, she's entering UA too, since she wants to be be a hero. And Deku and Melissa actually met at the front of UA, since Deku bumped into Melissa and she was about to fall, but Deku grabbed her. It's kind of the same as how he met Uraraka, but not really. And Deku lifts her up, saying, "Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean to bump into you. I apologize. I wasn't looking where I was going." And he walks off. And she started blushing a little bit, seeing Deku, man. He's not going to have Vegeta's hairline. I'm sorry, Vegeta. He isn't going to have the Vegeta hairline and stuff. But his hair would be the same. I haven't really been too into detail with his appearance. But his hair would be the exact same, but black. That's the only difference, and he's more shredded. Okay, this man has like a freaking 15 pack. No, that's not even 18, bro. 18. No, he's in the 20s, bro. He just got so much muscle. He's got so shredded because of his training as a child. So yeah, that's his strength. And we move from that, and they did the written portion. Deku, well, he was the last one to actually hand it in. He handed it in, and he barely passed with a 75%, bro. He barely passed the UA exam, because, no, actually, the UA exam only accepts you if you got past 80%, so I'm just going to give him a little benefit of the doubt and give him an 81%. I'm just gonna say the UA entrance exams thing, you're only allowed to make it if you got like above 80. And he got 81, barely making it. And he makes it to the practical, and the gates almost swing straight open as he bursts, or actually he just flies over it. He starts shooting down key blasts, and starts shooting down big bang attacks on all of those robots. In like 5 minutes, he racked up like 320 villain points or robot points. That's how fast he racked up those points. And soon he just started to just help and save others, since they saw that they needed help and this could just be good training. And he got like 30 rescue points for the help, and started helping more and more until he sees that giant robot about to stomp Melissa, and he ain't gonna let that happen, as he basically flies and snags Melissa out of there, takes her to a far enough place that she wouldn't get stomped, as he powers up into his full Super Saiyan state, and his hair would just spike up. His hair would spike up as he brings his hands to his side, as a yellow aura is emitted from him, as he starts yelling, going, "Ah!" I'm not gonna yell, because I don't want to give you guys an ear rape and stuff. So he starts yelling and stuff, and he charges up a final flash as he brings his hands together in front of him, yelling, "Final flash!" as he blasts that final flash straight at the robot, incinerating it, and that thing was gone. And in a different area, when they're taking the exams, Kakarot blasts a Kamehameha wave, straight Kaioken times 10 Kamehameha wave. I'm sorry, I apologize for the starting attack time. Kaioken times 10 Kamehameha wave at the 0.2, incinerating it as well. So yeah, he powers down, both of them power down, and they leave, and Deku takes Melissa to Recovery Girl, and she's gonna start recovering pretty soon. She only injured her ankle, and she actually started taking a liking to Deku, because I'm just gonna say, if you guys don't understand what I'm trying to do here, it's because Melissa's smart, Bulma's smart, they like to make stuff, and Bulma likes to make some weird gadgets. She does too. You know, do you get the similarities? Yeah. If you do, you're not living under a rock, okay? It's pretty good that, it's a pretty good thing that I'm gonna try to add a ship this time, since in the few what ifs that I've done, I've never really done ships, because I was too focused on the story. But still, we moved from that, and Deku was accepted into 1A. And that's that for Deku. And they had like a day off before starting school, and he did not waste it. He started training so hard, and he was training with Mirko, and she was overpowered and defeated, and Deku just kept training and training until he dropped to the ground, heavily saying, I wasn't strong enough to beat Kakarot. As he has that same mentality as Vegeta, trying to get better than Kakarot. And yeah, that anger actually let him access a bit of a state, his full Super Saiyan state, but it's actually even more so stronger than it normally would be, because this time he's using the anger even more to enhance his abilities. So he basically mastered the false Super Saiyan state to the degree that it doesn't even have any stamina drain, and it's just basically like Ultimate, but not as strong as Ultimate. But yeah, you get the point. So we move on to the start of UA, and Midoriya enters a class, seeing all these people who made it into UA. And he sees Bakugo sitting there and arguing with a boy, and he just waves at Bakugo. Saying, "What's up, bro?" And Bakugo stood up, saying, "Yo, what's up, Deku?" As he does the handshake and stuff, and Kakarot makes it inside, and that's when Deku gave him a look, and so did Kakarot, and they were actually sitting next to each other, so there's some bad blood between them two, but still. They sat down, and Melissa came in and sat next to Kakarot, and Kakarot began a conversation with her. And Deku, well, he thought something was going on here, and he didn't really like the fact that Melissa was talking to Kakarot, and he began having an inner monologue in his head, thinking, "What the hell? What are these feelings? Do I like this Melissa person?" As he begins getting like worked up in his mind, and Vegeta begins laughing maniacally, saying, "You actually jealous." And as he begins laughing even more, "You're actually jealous of Kakarot." And well, Deku looks at him saying, "Shut up, Vegeta." But it was in his head, and he spaced out for a second. But Aizawa asked them to go outside and do the exam, the practical basically. Deku destroyed that, and he came first, with the second runner-up being Kakarot, and he threw the ball, transforming into basically his false Super Saiyan state and throwing it. I'm just gonna say he threw it to over 2 cities, and that's like, I'm just gonna say that's like 50 kilometers away. Kakarot, going into Kaioken times 10, threw the ball, making it to Hosu City, which is pretty far, but not as far, so like 10 kilometers. And the class is surprised to see their strength. And they did all the others, and Deku pulled a Saitama, and so did, well, Kakarot, and those two are the most impressive out of them all. And Well, Aizawa decided to add a little feature between these two. Since these two are like the most rowdy ones, they added a little sparring session. And as Deku heard this, he started laughing, saying, "Yes, my chance to finally stomp you beneath my feet, Kakarot." And he got into his fighting stance. And Kakarot looks at him, saying, "It's been a while since we had another fight like this. Let's go all out. Let's go all out." Deku, as they power up, Kakarot starts yelling, saying, "Kaioken times 20," as he powers up, and there's a little mini crater where he stands as his power is flexed around, and as he starts flexing his ki, and his ki starts rising even further, and this is his max power. And Vegeta starts talking to Deku in his mind, saying, "Well, kid, looks like you're gonna have to learn how to defeat this kid." And, well, Deku starts saying, "You really think that form of yours can actually keep up with me?" As he yells, and he transforms into his false Super Saiyan state. And, well, Kakarot was surprised, seeing this power up close, seeing his hair have a little bit of a golden tint, and his hair spike up as they charge at each other. And, well, Kakarot's pretty close, actually, since, well, the false Super Saiyan that I'm gonna go with has a times 5 multiplier, 25 times multiplier, but since it's mastered, it's much easier to control. But the Kaioken here is much harder to control since he's not really a Saiyan, and he's just a human, so he has to use it in short bursts, and he's getting clapped, and Vegeta knees him in the gut, and Kakarot coughs out blood, saying "Ugh!" as he gets knocked out of the circle, as he holds his stomach, saying, "What the hell is that power?" As Deku powers down, saying, "I was expecting more from you, since you were my rival." As he walks away, and those words stung, well, Kakarot. And those words actually made him power up into Kaioken times 30. And Kakarot, well, not Kakarot, but Deku felt his power, and now he starts smiling, saying, "Now we're talking," as he powers up to false Super Saiyan again, as they start clashing yet again. And this time they're pretty much more even if that multiplier makes, well, multiplier makes what's his name again, Kakarot, even stronger than, well, Deku. There's a big difference because Deku isn't taking any damage from his transformation, and Kakarot is. So they begin fighting even more, and as you can see, there are like multiple little circles in the sky because the impact, as they punch each other, the impact blows the, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you probably understand what I'm trying to say. As in Dragon Ball, when they punch each other, the impact makes that circle in the sky. That's basically what's going on right now. They see multiple circles in the sky as Deku and, well, Kakarot are vanishing from left to right to above into the ground, and they just keep vanishing. Their speed is unmatched, and right now they look pretty even, but Deku knees Kakarot in the gut again, making him cough out more blood, and starts barraging him with multiple attacks, and kicks him straight in the face, straight to the ground, and blasts a big bang attack straight towards him. And Kakarot, before he hits the ground, releases a Senko and tries to counter the attack, manages to block it, but lands on the ground with a massive thud, and, well, Deku comes down trying to knee him straight into the ground, but Kakarot managed to dodge this, and he actually underestimated how Deku got stronger, and he started fighting him even more seriously, and it was a hard-fought battle, but Deku managed to take the victory. he defeated Kakarot. And, yeah, Kakarot was pretty much defeated. I'm pretty sure I said this was gonna be a one-shot story, but I'm gonna make it a two-part story instead, not a one-shot. It's taking a bit of a while, but part 2 will be out after this, so don't worry. So, that's how that ended, and a few weeks into UA, they started doing, the heroes versus villains, and the heroes were Kakarot and Deku. Now, this is an OP team. No one can actually match their strength against All Might. Yeah, they're gonna fight All Might. And I said that Kakarot had one for all, and he hasn't really used it. But he can use up to 50%. So, yeah, just watch out for that. Kakarot, well, their fight is to try to get away from, try to get the the bomb from All Might, and it's at the end, and All Might has to defend against them, and All Might basically did what he did to stop Bakugo and Deku last time, throwing a massive Detroit Smash to blow them back, and he did the exact same, but Kakarot uses his own Detroit Smash, blowing All Might's Detroit Smash, and having a little bit of a clash, and turns into a tornado in the center and destroys a couple of buildings as he uses full cowling at 50%, and he's probably awakened multiple quirks at this point. He probably awakened Black Whip and Black Whip and a few other quirks that I don't really know, since I haven't been really keeping up with My Hero Academia that much. But I only know Black Whip, and I know he has like a float quirk. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he has that too, so, yeah. That's what he was using to stay in the sky against, Deku, but that's not important right now. As they started flying or dashing towards All Might, and Deku was there first, releasing a punch straight at All Might. All Might blocks this punch, but he feels like his arm just shattered because of that impact, and Deku started berating All Might with so much attacks, kicks, punches, and he started turning All Might into a punching bag, and Kakarot joined in with Kaioken times 5, and that was too much for All Might. He was kneed in the gut by both of them, and Deku accidentally kneed him in his injury, making him cough out an immense amount of blood as he gets knocked back out of the exit zone and into like a forest. He was kicked straight into a forest where no one can see him, and he was on the ground in his Small Might form, passed out. And they basically got the bomb, took All Might to Recovery Girl, and made sure he was alright. That's the heroes versus villains for basically Deku this time. And the same, not really the same, but it goes similar for the others. It's not like they're versing the teachers, they're just doing the exact same thing. Students versus students, the same thing. But these two needed an actual number one hero to fight, because they're way too strong, and they just obliterated All Might. So, yeah. That's that for them. And soon, they're gonna start to do the, what's it called again? The USJ. I keep forgetting so many things, but they're gonna do the USJ very, very soon. But on that note, I'll be leaving it off there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more of these incredible what ifs that I'm getting. Well, not really getting, but these incredible what ifs that I have in store for you guys. So make sure to hit the bell icon so you guys can be notified whenever I upload. And I'll see you guys on the next what if. Oh, peace.